So we'll be presenting on behalf of Ana Paula and myself. Ana Paula is here too, but I'll be doing the talking for question of time, saving time. And we are going to very briefly show you what we are working on. And this is, we are analyzing the concept of esperanza, which translates into hope in Portuguese and in Spanish. And we consider them cultural keywords in Latin America. That's more or less what we are trying to do. And the title of this presentation starts with a quote, a phrase that was pronounced by a former Ecuadorian president when a new Argentinian president was inaugurated. He said that this was a gale of hope for Latin America. And this illustrates the fact that we believe that the term esperanza is very central in political and social discourse in Latin America. Maybe some of you remember that last year in the same SEMCon, I presented the term Latin America as a cultural keyword, and I presented an explication for it, because I believe that this is not just a toponym that expresses a very clear political region, but it's rather a term that expresses a more cultural and more emotional collection of countries and peoples. And for instance, in my explication, there were elements like these places being connected together by the fact that many bad things have happened and happen in the region, and that many good things can happen if they are like brothers and sisters. So this is the context for understanding how we are working with Esperanza. We have observed hundreds of times that the terms are very central in discourse in Latin American countries, and these words, both in Portuguese and in Spanish, are used in the normal context that in NSM are considered central for a cultural keyword status, like being in the names of books and films and music, and also even academic events. So this has been through all our observations, but we wanted to do a more systematic analysis of the terms. So we decided to do corpus analysis based on Twitter. And what we did was that we searched for the appearance of these words in the whole year of 2019, and we chose this year because we wanted to avoid COVID tweets. We could see here, and you can see it on the chart, that there were certain days throughout the year that we call peaks of hope, where the words esperanza appear much more in the tweets. And so we collected all the tweets from those peaks, 7 peaks for each country, and that is the corpus of our analysis. And for comparative purposes, we had a look at Denmark as well, and the word hope, which is the rough translation, and you can see that it was a very low, a very stable use of the word. There were no peaks of hope in Denmark. The peaks refer to different kinds of events, and a number of them were political events, like the election day, or the day in which a new president is inaugurated, or maybe even the day a president is released from prison. But there are also some of the international holidays like New Year's Day and Christmas and Easter that also trigger these peaks of hope. So those were more or less roughly the most important events. As regards linguistic productivity, we could see a very rich phraseology with the words esperanza in both languages. And all of our fonts are so similar in the two languages and in the two countries that we focused on, that we believe that the words work in the same way, if it's in Spanish or in Portuguese, in the context of these Latin American countries. We're going to show you all the kind of phraseology that we found, but some of them. And here, the first two ones show the main phrases containing the words are metaphorical expressions based on on underlying conceptual metaphors that show the strength and importance of this feeling of hope. For instance, hope as a force of nature and hope as light. And there were many more. And then another thing we want to show about phraseology and the words that the terms esperanza are appear with is the connection between esperanza and democracy and activism. And this is quite interesting because esperanza can sometimes be seen as a bit of a static or placid feeling, but that's not what we find in our data. Esperanza is a feeling that calls to action. So the explanation is this one. I don't have the time to read it, but I just want to show that it has it's done on the template for emotions, starting with a cognitive scenario with an evaluation. And of course, we based a lot our explication on Ana Wiswiska's explication of hope from '99, and also partly from the explication from 2021, which is a bit different because it's more religious hope. But we felt that we had to add some elements. For instance, the fact that bad things have happened to many people. We think that it's not enough to think of esperanza as the idea that good things are going to happen. We do have that element, of course, but we are based on a context where bad things have happened. And because we believe that this is a very collective feeling in Latin America, it's not an individual feeling, but a shared collective feeling. So we added also the idea of many people, and the political element is also added in my country. Of course, we have some good things can happen, but we also there's something more related to activism. I want to do something because of this, which is not normally present in other explications of hope. And about the evaluation, we evaluated very positively. But again, this social element appears because we believe that we need to say it is very good if many people feel like this. And then the opposite is also true in our data. It is very bad if many people do not feel like this anymore. It's central for the region that Esperanza is alive and is kept and is not stolen by people, by politicians, for instance. Yes, that was it for now. I don't have more time, but an article is coming. So thank you.